Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Mason African Motives. Still working on all level maths revisions. We are just going to focus on this part, that is on the limits of accuracy. There are basic things that you are supposed to understand on limits of accuracy, like how do you round off your values and so forth and so forth. All right. So actually here we just have, guys, this is one of the easiest part that we have in maths. All you just need is to know how the numbers are being given, or how are you given the person. That is the most important part. Like here we are given, when a number is rounded off to the nearest whole number, that is what you're given. When a number is rounded off to the nearest one, it means the rounded answer has a range of values which round off to it. Okay, it's not an exact value that you're given. Okay, so what are we trying to say? We are saying when we are given, let's just take an example of 6 centimeters. Okay, this is our 6 centimeters here, which is being rounded off to the nearest whole number. So that is to the nearest whole number. It means this is not the answer that we have got. Okay, this is to the nearest whole number. It means there were values which were there. Let me just take an example of this. If you round off 6,1 like this, actually it is going to give us 6. If we round off maybe 6,4 like this, it is going to give us 6 again. So there are so many values that we can round off, and they give us the same value, which is 6. That is what we are saying. Since it is to the nearest whole number, you just focus with one digit after the comma. That is what you focus with, because it's to the nearest whole number. So for this limit of accuracy, what you need is to know the minimum value and the maximum value. These are the most important things that you're supposed to understand or to know from. Okay. So this is it, guys. The minimum value, let us cross check our 6. What is going to be the minimum value that when we round off, it is going to give us the same value as 6. Okay, so if it is a minimum value, definitely I'm going to look for a value that is 1 less than this value, which means my value has to be around 5 comma, so it must be 5 comma something. That is the minimum. It must be at least 1 digit less, which is 5 comma. So it's 5 comma which value? That when I round off, it is going to give me 6. Okay, so definitely it's 5,5. Why? Because at 5,4, if we round off 5,4, it doesn't change this value to be 6. It's now 5. So which means 5,4 is out. But the moment we start at 5,5 like this, if we round off this, it is going to give us 6. So which means this is your minimum value that you're going to use, which is 5,5 centimeters, up to the maximum value, which means we are going to have 6, 6,1, 6,2, 6,3, up to which value? Up to 6,4. Because if you round off to 6,4, if you round off back here, it gives us the same value as 6. So our maximum value can be at 6,4. Why? Because if we just cross check it, let's just cross check 6,5. If we try to round off at 6,5, this 5 is going to change this 6 into 7. It's no longer 6, so it's not needed. Okay, so our minimum value is going to be 5,5, and our maximum value will be 6,4. But I want to clear this confusion here, that they might give you a consideration. Now, this is what the exam can do. They know that you know this is your, and these are your answers. All right. Now they can give you to say this is the length, or let's just say this is a square which measures 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters by 6, like that. Okay, this is a square. So if we are given to give the limits of the side of a square, let's say they gave us like this, L is greater than or equal to less than, like this. Take note on this type of a format. This is another format that they are giving you. What does this format mean? It means the length that we are going to have, it is going to be greater than or equal to. The equal part means you are including the value that you are referring to as your minimum value. This one, 5,5, is included. But the less than part now, there is no equal to here. As we can see, we do not have the equal to on this part. So it means if we use this value as it is, it's wrong. Why? We have neglected this value to say it's no longer part of our answer. That is what it means. So for us to have our answer and this value of 6,4 is included in our solution, what are we going to do? We are going to add 1 to this value. So now it becomes 6,5. So it will be less than 6,5. That is when you are given a limit like this. That is where you write it like this. But if you are given to state the maximum and the minimum value, these are your values, the minimum value, the maximum value. So I want us to have this and know this part, guys. Do not confuse this part. Okay. So what am I trying to say? Let's say we have got a rectangle which measures, in this case, I'm going to back to that example. Just want you to understand these terms first. Let's say we've got a rectangle here which measures 6 centimeters. We used 6, so let's just use 7 centimeters this time. 7 centimeters by 3 centimeters. Okay, this is what you're going to have. The least possible value, let's start with the width. Remember, the width is the shorter side, and the length is your bigger side. All right. So the limit that you're going to have is at 3, this 3 here. The limit, which is the minimum value, is going to be less than, which is 2,5. That is the first digit that we can round off, and it gives us 3. And the maximum value is the one that has got 3, and is 3,4 centimeters. This is your maximum value. All right. You go to 7, the minimum value definitely is going to be 6, and which value can we start rounding off, and it gives us 7, is 6,5, and the maximum value will be 7,4. These are the maximum values, but take note of that consideration that I talked about when they have to write in this way. Therefore, you have to just add 1 to your maximum value here. You add 1, provided that they have written in that way. Okay, so actually that's what we got here. So now let us cross-check what we are given on this part or on this person. Okay, I'm just going to remove everything here. All right, I'm just going to remove everything so that at least it can help us to answer this. All right, so let us go back to this question where we are given that a rectangle, it measures 6 centimeters by 4 centimeters. Okay, so this is our rectangle. After rounding off, the dimensions now were 6 centimeters and 4 centimeters after rounding off. All right, so this is also 6 centimeters and 4 centimeters. Remember your rectangle. Okay, this is to the nearest centimeter. To the nearest centimeter means to the nearest whole number. That is what it means. So these values were rounded off to the nearest whole number. So definitely I need 1 digit after the comma because I'm having a whole number here. All right. So the question is, find the smallest possible length of the rectangle. So this is the length. The length is the bigger side, remember, on a rectangle. So what will be the smallest? That is, before you round it off to get this 6, what can be your minimum value? That would be 5,5. Okay, that was it. So in this case, it's going to be 5,5 centimeters. If it was the maximum, it was going to be 6,4. All right, so that was it. Then let's cross-check this question now, which is saying the biggest possible perimeter of the, take note, the biggest possible perimeter of the rectangle. So the biggest means you are supposed to use maximum values. You are supposed to work with maximum values in this case. That is, you're going to use the maximum length and the maximum width. That is what it means. Okay, so already we said this is our maximum width, which is 6,4. What about our maximum, the maximum length? What about the maximum width? The maximum width is going to be 4,4. That is your maximum width, because the minimum width will be at 3,5 centimeters. So this is your minimum, same as this one, your minimum. But now we need maximum, the biggest possible. So you're going to use length of 6,4 and the width of 4,4. So therefore our perimeter, we know that the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 into length plus the width. So we are going to substitute 2 into the length, and the length in this case, the biggest one, because we need the biggest, which is 6,4, plus the width, which is the biggest width, which is 4,4. That is it. So that's what you're going to have. So you just add these two, 6,4 plus this one, that is 8 here. 6 plus 4, which is 10. So it's 10,8. And if you multiply by 2, 10.8 by 2, that is 10.8. So let me just use my calculator here by 2. It's going to give us 21.6. So this is 21.6 centimeters. So take note, guys, what this part is actually asking us to do. All right. Then let's see the C part. The C, we are now given here the difference. Take note, what we need here, we need the difference between the biggest and the smallest possible area. Now we are talking of area, not perimeter. Okay, so we need the biggest and the smallest. So the biggest, you use the biggest values, the smallest, you use the smaller values. And also you must know your formulas, guys. Remember the formula for area. Okay, so just like what we did, I'm just going to remove this part also. All right, so remember your formula for area, that the area of a rectangle is given by length times width. All right. So let's start with the biggest one. So the biggest area, yes, to use the biggest length. And what is our biggest length? That is our maximum length here of 6.4. So we're going to take 6.4 and 4.4 as our width. So our length, we said 6.4, and our width will be at 4.4. Okay, then for the smallest one, we are going to use the smallest length, and our length, which is the smallest one, is 5.5, and the width is 3.5. So we've got 5.5 for length, and the width, which is 3.5. So that's it. So we need the difference. So definitely we are going to find the area here, which we said area is length times width. So it's going to be 6.4 times 4.4. Okay, so if you multiply this, you are going to have 6.4 times 4.4, which gives us something like 28.16. Okay, so this is 28.16 here. 28.16, the units, we take the units as they are, which are centimeters, so it will be square centimeters here. All right, so this is your biggest area. Then we calculate the smallest area, length times width, 5.5 times 3.5. Okay, you multiply these two, 5.5 times 3.5, which is going to give us something like 19. This is going to be 19.25. Okay, so you got the smallest area, the biggest area, and we need the difference. Take note, the person was asking us to calculate the difference between the two. That is what we are asked here, the difference. So what is the difference? We subtract maximum area minus minimum area. So that is it. Okay, so that is the difference, of which we have got 28.16 minus the minimum area, which is 19.25, which is in square centimeters. This one. Okay, so if we subtract 28.16 minus 19.25, it's going to give us something like 8.91. Okay, so this is 8.91 square centimeters. So that's it, just like that. Okay, you're done. So this is what you're supposed to know and understand. Okay, so as long you are dealing with the limits, that is what you are supposed to know in this platform. Okay, so as you can see, it's the same thing here. The measurements of a rectangle measured to the nearest centimeter. I told you it means to the nearest what? Whole number. So this one is to the nearest whole number. All right, so we were asked here to calculate find the smallest possible length. So definitely your length, you're going to take it from here. The smallest, this is the bigger side, which is 8, so it's going to be 7.5. I hope here we are now together. And the largest possible width, your width is 5, so it's going to be 5.4 centimeters. Then the largest possible area of the rectangle. Okay, so the largest possible area, we are going to use the largest possible length, which we have to take from 8 now. So it's 8, we say this one is going to give us 8.4 centimeters. So it's going to be 8.4 centimeters, the largest length. And all right, we are at length here. So this is your largest length. And the largest width is the one that we already calculated here. The largest possible width, we said, is 5.4. All right, so these two are going to give us the maximum area or the largest area, which is 8.4 times 5.4. All right, just like that. So you multiply 8.4 times 5.4, you're done. That is something like 45,36, something like that nature, 45,36 square centimeters, depending with the degree of accuracy, I mean the units that you're given. So that is it, guys. So as you can see, it's the same thing here, the square. So I want you to try this question of this square to find the least possible perimeter, the largest possible area of the square, and let me know on the comment section the answers that you're going to have from this one. All right. Which is the same thing here. We need the largest possible perimeter of the triangle. So you measure, you round off this to the nearest, you find the largest, then you find your perimeter. Remember, perimeter of a triangle, you just add the sides. If this is A, B, and C, you just add your sides, which is A plus B plus C. You add all the sides, okay? So that is it. So I want you to try these questions and let me know, guys, on the comment section what you are obtaining. Now let us, because these are all numbers, maybe they can be direct. Let's say you round off to the nearest one decimal place. Like let's take, for example, the side is just given. We are given a side of 7,1 centimeters. Okay, to the nearest. It was rounded off to the nearest one decimal place, to the nearest one decimal place, like this. Okay, we rounded off this, we rounded off a certain number, then if a certain numbers, and we got 7,1. So now we want to know what is the least possible of those numbers that we rounded off. Which one is the least and which one is our maximum? So we want to know the least length and the maximum length. Okay, so let's start with the least one. So remember the list, it has to be one digit less than this one, because remember now you rounded off to one decimal place, so you have to focus on this value, which is 1. So for the list, you're going to subtract 1 here, less than 1. So it is going to be 7,0 something there. So you need a digit that you are going to round off, then it gives you a 1 here. So which digit that you can round off, and this 0 becomes a 1. So definitely the digit that you're going to have here is a 5. If you put a 5 here, the smaller value can change this into 1. It becomes 7,1. So the least possible value was 7,05 centimeters. Okay, what about the maximum? The maximum, you start with what you're already given, 7,1 is already there, 7,1. But you have to look for the digit that you're going to put in here, so that when you round off, it remains as 7,1. But that digit is the maximum one. And which one do we talk about? Definitely that one will be 4. Because once we put 5 here, it is going to change this 1 into 2, of which is now wrong. Because if it is like 7,2, this is now wrong. Okay, so it means 5 is wrong. So we are going to use 4, which is 7,14, like that. Okay, so it's going to be 7,14 centimeters. Okay, but remember I told you that if they write it like this, your length is in the range that is greater than or equal but less than. Once they put it this way, it means the minimum value is going to remain as it is. Why? Because there is less than or equal to. So you are going to take your minimum value, which is the least value, this one, as it is, 7,05. But since here we are told that it's less than, the equal to is not there. So you are not going to use this value direct as it is, because it's already equal to 7,14. So if we use 7,14, we are now saying it's not included. So for us to include or to involve this value here, we are supposed to have 0.15. So 7,15. Take note, on this presentation, we are saying this 7,15 is not included, because when we say less than, 0.15 is not included, which means we are talking about values which are less than 7,15. And which values are we talking about? We are now including 7,14, 7,13, 7,12, all those values. But 7,15 is not included. So this statement does not change our maximum and minimum values. They still remain the same as they were. But because of the way that your question paper might ask you this question, they can give you in this format, and you have to be very, very careful with this type of a question. So that's how they actually ask this type of a question. You are supposed to be careful special on one decimal place, because they can even give you something like this. Let me just put last example. Let's say we have got a square which measures 2,3 like this. It measures 2,3 centimeters. Definitely this one is to the nearest what? To the nearest one decimal place. So what are the limits for this? That is where we have to go back now and say the minimum value is going to be one digit less than, which is 2,2. But we must find a digit that is going to round off these 2 so that it becomes a 3. And which digit is that one? That's a 5. So this one will be 5. All right. Then we go on to the maximum value. You write this as it is, which is 2,3. Then all you need is to find the digit that is not going to change this 3, because you want to remain with 2,3. So the digit is not supposed to change the 3, it's supposed to remain with 3, but that digit is the maximum digit. And what digit is that? Is 4. So which means these are the minimum and maximum values. But if the person is writing now like this, L is greater than or equal to less than like this, it means you are going to take, remember, the less than is involved on the minimum value. So the minimum value has to remain as it is, 2,25. And what about the maximum value? The maximum value now is affected because they are saying it's not included here. So you're going to add this so that it becomes a 5. So it will be 2,35 like this. Okay, so this is what we have, guys, on the degree of accuracy. That is what you simply need to know or to understand. And questions can even ask you a lot of, they can be different. Maybe you are given a circle that has got a radius of 3 centimeters to the nearest whole number. Then they ask you to calculate the least possible. They can ask you to calculate the least possible perimeter in terms of pi. The least possible perimeter in terms of pi. Okay, in terms of what? In terms of pi, like this. Okay, so here we need the least, so we are going to work with the least. If they said maximum, you work with the maximum. So what is the least value if this 3 was rounded off to the nearest whole number, which is to the nearest what? To the nearest centimeter. That is to the nearest centimeter. What does it mean about the limits? It means the smaller value was at 2,5. So that is the smaller value that if you round off this, it gives you 3. That is the smallest value that you can round off and it gives you 3. That is what we mean. So your perimeter now, perimeter of a circle, you know that is 2 pi r. So it's going to be 2 times pi. Remember, your answer is needed in terms of pi times 2,5. Okay, multiply 2 and 2,5, you get 5 pi centimeters. That becomes the least possible. If the question was asking you to calculate the maximum possible perimeter, then you're going to use the maximum, and the maximum has to maintain 3. So the maximum value is supposed to be 3,4 centimeters. So perimeter, 2 pi r. So you substitute 2 times pi times the radius, which is the maximum now, which is 3,4, not 3,5. 3,5, you just write it when you are given the limits, like this one that I was indicating here. That's where you write this with a 5. But when you are calculating using maximum value, you take the maximum value as it is. You do not work with that issue. Okay. So now you can multiply 2 times 3,4. That's something like 2 times 3,4. Okay, 2 times 3.4, which is 6,8. So this is going to give us 6,8 pi centimeters. This is perimeter. All right. So that's it, guys, on the degree of accuracy. That's what you just need to know. The basic part is all about this. So you can try this question that I told you to try. If there's any question, let me know, guys, on the comment section so that we can revise much as we can. But for now, that's it, guys, from Mason African Motives. Till we meet again. So let's not forget, guys, to share our videos to your friends and colleagues. Let's make this platform grow, guys. Let us share our videos to friends and colleagues. Let them also benefit from this channel that we are having as Mason African Motives family. Let us just try our best. Share to someone, your neighbor, your colleague at school there, so that we all benefit from this information. Okay, so that's it, guys, from Mason African Motives. Till we meet again.